We just received a massive update about $2,000 Trump checks to millions of Americans. Look at this. Stimulus payment in 2025. The biggest question is that am I eligible for $2,000 Trump checks? This is the question that millions of Americans are asking right now, and in this video I'm going to answer this. Well, at the same time, look at this. Trump $2,000 checks update. Here is the latest on the president's proposal. President Trump just shared something real important about these $2,000 stimulus or dividend checks for millions of Americans that left everyone stunned. I'm gonna give you each and every detail, but all I need is just a little favor. It takes 2 seconds to please hit that like button on this video. So without any further ado, let's begin. $2,000 stimulus checks to Americans, so let's get straight into the details. Well, President Donald Trump has committed giving Americans a $2,000 tax refund based on tariff revenues next year, but recently President Donald J. Trump announced that this tax refund is actually a dividend, means a stimulus check to millions of Americans.
We also might make a distribution to the people, almost like a dividend to the people of America.
How much are you thinking for that, sir?
Well, we're thinking maybe $1,000 to $2,000. Be great.
$1,000 to $2,000 stimulus checks to millions of Americans, though President Donald J. Trump is actually calling these checks dividend checks, and he revealed, or you can say announced, these checks in an interview with OAN Network, means One America News Network. And this is huge for millions of Americans, because you need to understand that after this interview, a new Pandora box opened where a number of reporters started asking that when these checks are coming, and suddenly President Donald J. Trump officially announced these checks in Oval Office. Watch this.
We're going to issue a dividend to our middle income people and lower income people of about $2,000. And we're going to use the remaining tariffs to lower our debt. We're going to be lowering our debt, which is a national security thing.
So President officially announced these $2,000 checks. Well, just few moments ago, I showed you the video from One America Network where President Donald J. Trump said that these checks could be somewhere between $1,000 to $2,000. But when he was talking to reporters in the Oval Office, he said that no, it's going to be $2,000, and we are going to send these checks to millions of Americans. And right after this very important announcement, this is what President Donald J. Trump posted on Truth Social. People that are against tariffs are fools. We are now the richest, most respected country in the world with almost no inflation and a record stock market price. Do you agree with this? Let me know in the comments below. 401k is our highest ever. We are taking in trillions of dollars and will soon begin paying down our enormous debt, $37 trillion. Record investment in the US, plants and factories going up all over the place, a dividend of at least $2,000 a person. Let me repeat it, a dividend of at least $2,000 a person, not including high income people, will be paid to everyone. So what it means that each individual and dependent will get $2,000. So if you are a couple, you could receive $4,000. If you are a family of 4, you could receive $8,000. But if you're a family of 5, you're going to receive staggering $10,000 in these dividend payments. Now, after this announcement, a number of people asked that what about the eligibility? Well, President Donald J. Trump actually posted about the eligibility as well. Look at this very important post from President Trump. All money left over from the $2,000 made to low and middle income US citizens from the massive tariff income pouring into our country from foreign countries. Please focus on this part. All money left over from the $2,000 payment made to low and middle income US citizens. So from the massive tariff income pouring into our country from foreign countries, which will be substantial, will be used to substantially pay down national debt. Thank you for your attention to this matter. President Donald J. Trump. This is huge. Remember that millions of Americans are struggling right now, and there is no doubt about it. But the biggest breaking news is that not just President Trump, not just Republicans, even Democrats are supporting this $2,000 check to Americans. Now the biggest question is why? Well, both of them are supporting these checks, but for different reasons. On one hand, President Trump and Republican Party both are saying that US is receiving billions and trillions of dollars because of these reciprocal tariffs that President Donald J. Trump placed on almost every country in the world. That's why we are going to give a piece of it to millions of struggling Americans, means to low and middle income Americans. And what I mean by low and middle income, well, people who make $100,000 and under. If you are someone who make $100,000 and less, then you are going to get this check if President Trump and Congress approve this. Again, one thing is very important because we receive a number of comments from you. What about seniors? What about disability benefit recipients? What about low income households whose income is zero? Then let me just tell you that you are eligible for it, because according to American Worker Rebate Act that was presented by Josh Hawley, under that proposal, because remember that proposal came into Congress with the approval of President Donald J. Trump, the eligibility criteria was simple. Anyone who makes $100,000 and less is eligible to receive that $600. So if you take that information and put it right here on this 2,000, because it's only the amount that is changed, so it means that a number of seniors and low-income households are going to be eligible for this $2,000 dividend check. Now, the biggest question is when you can expect these payments. This is important. But before I tell you the timeline, do you know that White House also supports these checks from President Donald J. Trump? Watch this.
Should U.S. Citizens expect the $2,000 proposal? Is the White House committed to making that happen?
The White House is committed to making that happen, yes. And we are currently exploring all legal
The White House
options
is committed
to get that done. I don't have a timeline for you or any further details, but I can confirm for you that the president made it clear he wants to make it happen. And so his team of economic advisors are looking into it. And when we have an update, we'll provide one.
The White House is committed to make it happen, and President Donald J. Trump wants to turn it into a reality. That's what Caroline Leavitt said, and this is huge for millions of Americans. Look at this. According to the Congressional Budget Office, on November the 15th, tariff revenue projections went from $3.3 trillion in tariff revenue over the next decade to $2.5 trillion. That will result in additional $500 billion in debt interest payments for a total of $3 trillion in value to the government. So now this is a very important point, and you need to focus on this, because you need to understand that in order to send these $2,000 checks to the people who make $100,000 and less, US only needs $160 billion. So if US is receiving trillions of dollars, then $160 billion is going to be a piece of cake for President Donald J. Trump and this administration, because on top of it, they're also saying that after 2 to 3 years, there'll be no income tax at all. That's what President Donald J. Trump said during the recent cabinet meeting, which actually left everyone stunned.
So we're going to be making a dividend to the people, and additionally, we're going to be able to reduce debt. And as time goes by over the next 2, 3, 4 years, those numbers are going to go up. And I believe that at some point in the not too distant future, you won't even have income tax to pay. Because
Means
the
you don't
money
have to
we're
go to
taking
the
in
Gulf
is so
countries.
great, it's so enormous that you're not going to have income tax to pay.
All of these claims from President Donald J. Trump, or announcements from President Donald J. Trump, seems song to the ears right now, because you need to understand that Americans are struggling. A number of them are unable to put 3 meals a day for themselves and their loved ones. According to the recent report from Gallup, the prices of groceries are up by 21% in the past 3 years. So this $2,000 check will certainly change a number of things for these Americans. Now the biggest question is, what about the timeline when these checks are coming or actually going to Americans? So you need to understand this. President Donald J. Trump recently said that these checks will go to Americans in the middle of next year. It means in the middle of 2026. And this has actually started a new controversy, because a number of analysts and experts are saying the reason President Donald J. Trump is talking about giving these checks to Americans in the middle of next year is because of the midterm election. He wants to send these checks, and he will send these checks right before the midterm election so he can regain the trust of American people. Let me know in the comments below. What do you think about this whole situation, and do you support these $2,000 checks from President Donald J. Trump? And do you think that President Donald J. Trump will send these checks to Americans? Well, if you support these checks, then write in the comment section, I support $2,000 check. Again, if you support it, then write in the comment section, I support $2,000 check, because remember, if you don't do anything, nothing will happen. And do you know that you can save around $1,100 when it comes to your Medicare plan? That's why I partnered with Chapter, where you can get unbiased help from a real person absolutely free. Call the number on the screen today, 212-461-4492. Again, the number is 212-461-4492, and get the help that you deserve absolutely free. If you have any questions at all, then please let me know in the comments below, and I'll be happy to answer each and every question of yours, as Credit Viral channel will always be with you in your good and difficult times. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video very soon. Till then, please take care and have a nice day.